fourth graders, today we are going to be reviewing fractions and coloring them in, but today we're going to work on fractions as tenths and hundredths. So this is just first a review. So we're going to look at each model below and we are going to decide what fraction it is representing. So if you look at the first one, I can see that it is divided into 10 equal pieces. So I see that when I count, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces colored in. So that represents 6/10. Okay. If you look at my next one, it is cut into more than 10 pieces. So I'm going to count one column. And I see that there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in each column. So I'm going to assume that there are 10 in this column. So I'm going to count by tens. I'm going to say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So there are 100 pieces, and I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 74 hundredths. Let's look at the next one. Again, this is in tenths, and I have 4 tenths colored in. Down here, let's look at, I have 10, 21 hundredths colored in. On this one, I don't need to count all these because I know there are 10 columns and only 1 is missing. So I know that 9 of my 10 are colored in. So that shows 9/10. Let's look at this one. I know that this is out of 100 because I've counted them before. And I see that there are 10, 20, 30, and then 9 in the second one. So this is 39/100ths. Let's look at where we have to figure that out. So if you notice, this is out of 100, just like I saw on my last slide. So I'm going to click, my denominator is going to be 100, and then I'm going to count 10, 20, 30, 40, 2 are colored in. So let's look at this one. There are 10 columns, so there are tenths, and I have 3/10 colored in. Let's look at the next one. It is in hundredths, and I have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 hundredths colored in. Let's look at this one. It's in hundredths, so that's my denominator, and I have 4 hundredths colored in. Let's look at this one. I know it's in hundredths, so then I'm going to count 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 3. Ooh, that should be 83. Okay, let's look at this next one. There is 1, 2, 3, 4 of my tenths colored in. So I have 4/10. So let's look at this page. Let's do some practice showing how I can find an equivalent fraction. So if you look at my example at the top, there are 7/10 colored in. If you notice, my whole is the same size, but instead of having only tenths, I have it broken down into hundredths. So each tenth has 10 in it to make 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So if you notice, 7/10, if I color in the exact same amount in the same pattern, I would have 70/100ths colored in. That means 7/10 is equivalent or equal to 70/100ths. So let's do some practice down at the bottom. If you notice here, I have 3/10 colored in. Okay. Now I am going to color up the same amount in this box. So I'm going to add these in. And so I did 3 columns just like the tenths had, but now it's not covering 3/10, it's covering 30 hundredths. Let's look at this one. I see that it's in tenths. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5/10 colored in. So on this side, I'm going to cover up the same amount. I'm going to cover up 5 columns over here. And I know it's in hundredths. So let's cover that up. And now I know I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 hundredths. Let's look at this bottom one. Okay. I know it's in hundredths this time. Okay. And so I'm going to count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. I have 90 hundredths colored in. This side is in tenths. So I am going to cover up the same number of column over here on my tenths hole. Okay. If you notice, instead of counting by 10, I'm going to just count the number of columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 tenths. So 90 hundredths is equivalent to 9 tenths. And we can see that in the picture. Let's do the last one. Here I can tell that I have 1/10 colored in. Over here, this is in hundredths. So then I'm going to cover up just one column in my hundredths chart. And I know that there are 10 hundredths in this one column. So 1/10 is equivalent to 10 hundredths. For your practice today, you are going to have a page that looks just like this. You only have 2 problems to do. And you are going to drag this pink box, okay, and you're going to drag it over here. And you're going to show, and then you're going to have to resize it. So this shows 7 tenths. You're going to drag your pink box over here and then drag it wide so it covers the same amount as 7 tenths. Then you are going to type your answer over here. And you'll do the same thing for 40 hundredths and how you will make it equivalent to tenths. You'll have to click and drag this pink box, and you'll drag it over here, and then you'll have to resize it.